Hello, this is Nathan Oxenfeld with Natural Vision Vlog number 8. It's Labor Day weekend here in Cabot, Vermont, and I'm really excited to share that I just moved into an Ecovillage, into an intentional community here with my partner Cynthia. My last Natural Vision vlog was about me moving into my new office space in Montpelier, Vermont, which is the capital of Vermont. And a big part of why I was doing that is because I was also moving out of my apartment, which is where I've been working for the past 2 years, and into this space here. And my partner Cynthia has been living here for 5-6 years. She's actually been building this amazing house and even built this amazing waterfall. She's an amazing gardener, landscaper, builder, and inspirational person too, because she also runs her own businesses. She doesn't just talk the talk, she walks the walk. That's actually where she and I met, was on one of her Ecovillage tours in Costa Rica a year and a half ago. And I wrote a blog post about that experience and also like the role that community plays in vision and eye care and eye health, and just overall health really as well. And you may or may not know this about me, but it's actually been like one of my dreams to live in an eco-village for about 15 years, since my first experience at an eco-village in Iceland back in 2010, which interestingly is also where I learned about the Bates method. So there's always been this really interesting link between intentional communities, community living, and healing the eyes and the vision. So that's kind of a cool area that I like to focus on and explore, and I'm sure I'll be doing much more of that now that I'm based here. But it's been a super busy past month or two with lots of big life changes and opening the office, getting that all set up and furnished, packing up and moving things over here. But I've been grateful to have been staying fairly active and present with my work. I've still been teaching classes and working with my students for one-on-one lessons, and getting ready for the Vermont Vision Improvement Retreat in 2 weeks. And actually, another thing I'm excited about, kind of collaborating in a sense with Cynthia, because she's running a retreat at the same place at the same time. So we're going to be kind of sharing a space and have our own separate groups, but we're going to have some like shared experiences and shared meals and lodging and stuff together. So that's already filled up, but we are going to be doing some more of these local events. I'm setting up another Vermont Vision Retreat probably in June 2026, where I just moved from, just Bolton Valley. So yeah, I'll keep you updated on those kinds of things. But the other big thing I'm excited to share before I share in today's vlog about a little practical practice that I've been using the past several weeks to kind of keep me relaxed and calm and focused, involving my breath. But I wanted to mention that this new thing that's coming up, because if you've been following me, you may know I've been starting like teacher trainings, and I've been actually certifying more people to teach what I teach. And so at this point, I've certified 2 people, June and Nalini. I put out a podcast episode where I interviewed both of them, so you can get to know them a little bit more. But one intention that we have set is to begin almost kind of like building like more of a course curriculum or like a class offering. So this autumn, we're going to go ahead and actually start that with each one of us, all 3 of us, June, Nalini, and I, offering our own multiple week class series. And I'm going to be putting a link to information about that in the description, because June is going to be teaching one called Practicing What Matters. and it's actually going to be over 2 weeks, 2 classes per week, so 4 sessions in 2 weeks to really like jumpstart your practice routine. If you're just starting off, or even if you've been working at this for a little while and you've kind of lost some momentum or hit a plateau and need a little pick me up, so to speak. And then Nalini is offering one in October that's called Integrating Our Vision with Soul Wisdom. And it's going to go into some of these deeper topics, like the mental side of seeing and the vision piece, inspired partly by Ayurveda and Jungian philosophy, even quantum mechanics and quantum physics and more. So that one's going to be going into some interesting topics in the month of October. And then I'm hoping to offer 2 4-week class series spanning starting at the end of September through the beginning of November. One of them is going to be just focused on nearsightedness, and the other one's just going to be focused on farsightedness. So I've never done this before. I've always taught classes to people with various types of vision problems and kind of let everybody in. And this one's going to be a little bit more focused in on specific individual refractive errors. So if you're nearsighted, like you can see near, but it's blurry far away, you might want to sign up for the Nixing Nearsightedness class. If you're farsighted and you can see better far, but you can't read up close without the reading glasses, you might be interested in the Fixing Farsightedness class. So I'm trying to get theirs set up first before mine. So just look out for that. And we're kind of setting this intention where all of these classes are essentially standalone, like that you could just pick one, but they also will really complement each other as well. So yeah, it's been really exciting, like building this team and brainstorming these new ideas and offerings. So if you feel like trying that out, we are offering like a special $50 off coupon for this first go around with it. So I'll put that in the description of this video as well. So we've got this 4-day retreat coming up, these 4 class series coming up, and then before you know it, I'll be heading back over to Europe to speak at the International Holistic Vision Conference in Valencia, Spain, last week of October. And that is open to the public. So if you're interested in meeting up in person or connecting with like multiple different vision teachers all in one place, you can consider actually joining and becoming a part of that really cool event. We're screening our documentary again, Vision 2020, From Eyesight to Insight, because it's been overdubbed in Spanish with Spanish subtitles. So we're going to be reaching a new audience there and doing a kind of Q&A session as well. And also, I'm really looking forward to this like special in memoriam of Esther Joy Vanderwerf that we're going to do at that event as well. It's hard to believe it's already been multiple months since we lost Esther back in March, and been trying my best to keep the Better Eyesight podcast going in a good flow. But we are actually trying something a little bit different this month. September 1st, our new episode comes out, episode 75. Can't believe we're already 75 episodes in, almost essentially kind of at this halfway point in this 11-year project. We're like 5.5 years in. And up to this point, each episode, we put out 1 episode a month, which includes us reading the original Better Eyesight magazine articles and then interspersing our teacher discussions in between the articles themselves. So you hear the article, then discussion, article, discussion, article, discussion, and that leads to a pretty long episode, between 2 and 3 hours long. And I mean, granted, you've got the whole month to listen to it. You don't have to do it all at once and break it up in chunks, but we're trying something a little different this time, where we're just going to put an episode out on the 1st that has just the articles. So just going through all the articles back to back to back to back with no discussions. But then a week or 2 later, we're going to release a second episode with just the discussions, so that you'll have time to listen to the articles, kind of process them on your own and digest them a little bit before you then get a sense of our take on it. And yeah, we'll see if we stick with this format or we go back to the original one, but I'm kind of curious to kind of try something else out. And I'd love to get your feedback too, if you have any preferences of just like, nope, I like it all in just one episode, or if you actually like having the articles and the discussions separate. So I believe that's all the major updates from all the changes happening in my life right now. So I wanted to leave you with this little practice that I've been really relying on the past couple weeks with moving to help me keep calm and relaxed, involving my breathing. And it's a particular type of intentional breathing, which breath is interesting because it could be happening unintentionally all day long and we'll still survive, obviously. But it's amazing how when we add a little extra layer of intention and visualization to the breath, how powerful it can become to help regulate our nervous system, work with our eyes and our vision, and almost kind of bring us into this different state of being and seeing. So we can try it together. It's a practice my vision teacher taught me called the wheel, because we imagine this ball of floating light rotating around our body, kind of like in a wheel shape, up the back and down the front. So what I like to do is I sit in a comfortable position with my eyes closed and I tune into my breath and I begin to focus my attention at the base of my spine, imagining a little ball of light appearing there. As I'm breathing, it's getting brighter and growing in size, getting warmer, and I just like to notice what color it shows up as today. Seems to be a little bit of green, a little bit of purple, a little bit of white and gold. So it might be a little different for you, just let it be. But when you're ready, with a big inhale, the ball of light begins to float up the back of your spine. It's floating a few centimeters off your skin, but it's rising up between your shoulder blades, back of the head, until it reaches above the head over the crown. And with the exhale, it moves in front of the face and begins to sink down in front of the chest, the abdomen, all the way down and looping between the legs back to the tailbone for your next inhale, letting it lift up behind the back, slowly rising all the way over the head until it crests, and exhale, it begins to sink down in front of you slowly, nice and easy. So you just follow this flow several times, whether you want to keep coordinating your movement and your breath, or maybe it's different. Maybe your ball of light moves faster than your breath goes. Maybe it goes even slower than your breathing goes. Just let it be, let it happen. But just continuing to keep the mind focused on where this ball of light is in space, rotating around you. As a yoga teacher, I also connect this with balancing my chakras. There's times where I feel like certain chakras are overactive, others are underactive. And something about this nice, warm, imaginary ball of light floating above all of them, behind the body, in front of the body, almost seems to have this balancing effect where all my chakras come into alignment and there's easier flow of energy through those energetic wheels. When you feel complete, you simply open your eyes back up and take a look around, because compared to before, you might want to notice how things are different, how just some breathing can actually change how you see. For me, everything pops a little bit more. The colors are much more vibrant. There's a lot more sense of depth and three dimensionality, kind of higher contrast and sharper edges on things. So it really can be as short and simple as that, of just calming down your nervous system, closing the eyes, resting the vision, focusing the mind and the intention in the breath, the visualization, the imagination, and then opening up to actually experience a shift. This can also be done much longer as well. If you're drawn to it, you can sit with it and really follow that wheel for more time and almost turn it more into like a meditation. And that can yield some interesting results as well. But I'm really just inviting you to play with it and see if this is something that helps you as well. If in times of stress or change or transition, sometimes we'll accidentally disconnect from the breath, or we'll even like hold the breath when we're really stressed. So I want you to bring some intention to your breath But I also just invite you to set more intentions in general, because like I said at the beginning, me being here in this eco village is like a manifestation of an intention I set 15 years ago. I wanted to live in the eco village for 15 years since I visited my first one in Iceland in 2010. And not only did I know I wanted to become a part of a community, but I knew I wanted to have something to offer to a community. And that's a big reason why I became a natural vision teacher in the first place, is because I was wondering, well, what can I offer to this imaginary community that I want to live in the future, beyond just, basic helping out in the community on the land and growing food and building things, which I intend on doing all of that. But what else could be a unique offering that no one else could offer? And that's why natural vision improvement stood out to me so much, because I was like, well, maybe I can become the eye guy, the natural eye guy who can work with the families in the community and with the children, and help people who are already kind of a little bit more off the grid and maybe not as plugged into the mainstream, to become even more independent from, needing to go to eye doctors, or this continual purchasing of contacts and artificial lenses and stuff, which is really not even good for the environment in the first place, of throwing all this plastic into landfills. So it's amazing how this all became synchronized, because the very week that I was moving into this eco village, this intentional community, I also had my first in-person student at my new office in Montpelier, and it just happened to be one of the children from the community here. One of the moms brought her daughter in for a consultation. She's bringing her son in this week for a consultation. So it was just all lining up of like, oh my gosh, I've wanted to teach natural vision improvement to people in a community, and I'm doing it. And, it didn't happen for 10, 15 years, but I had to, plant that seed back in the day. And now I'm seeing it unfold before my very eyes. So that's why I just want to invite you to set these intentions yourself in your life and your visions and your dreams and goals, because whether it, manifests in 15 minutes or 15 years, there's a better chance that you'll see it happen if you really focus on it and set that intention. So I'll leave it at there for now. I really appreciate you for watching and breathing along with me today. And I'm sure I'll be sharing much more updates about all this new stuff coming up. But yeah, check the description for links about the class series coming up, more information about the conference in Spain that's happening if you want to hang out in Europe. And stay tuned for more episodes of the Natural Vision blog, Better Eyesight podcast, and the Naked Eye podcast. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.